What if the reason every application stalls and every door creaks shut is because you're being invited to stop chasing a job and start pursuing your purpose? Stay with me. This isn't a call to idleness, it's a call to freedom. The word job has quietly kept many people bound to systems never built for their growth. You weren't made to live at the mercy of approval cycles, wage reviews, or the fear of being replaced. Your provision does not begin or end with an employer. Your future isn't held by a company. Your path isn't decided by another person's signature. Your destiny rests with the one who formed you, and that source can provide in ways no payroll ever could. Think about the energy you've spent, knocking on doors, sending resumes, refreshing inboxes, hoping for a salary that can't carry the vision inside you. If everything keeps closing, consider whether those closures are protection, not punishment. You weren't designed to beg at human tables. You were invited to sit at a higher one to live from abundance, not scarcity. Jobs have ceilings, budgets cap, roles end, departments downsize, and dreams can be squeezed into shapes they were never meant to fit. But a life rooted in source has no such cap. When your provider isn't a manager but the maker, streams don't dry up, doors don't define you, and blessings aren't rationed by quarterly reports. This is an invitation to stop asking people to do what only God can do. Don't lower a big vision to fit a small frame. Stop chasing titles that can't hold the weight of your calling. You weren't created for wages alone, you were created for purpose. Survival work fills time, destiny work fills life. A paycheck can feed a stomach, but only a plan aligned with your calling satisfies your soul. That's why restlessness follows you, even after landing positions that look good on paper. Deep inside, there's a quiet insistence. This isn't your finish line. The whisper is, steady, trust your source, not people. Systems tell you that without a job you are nothing. They weaponize the fear of unemployment. But your value isn't tied to a badge, a title, or a salary band. Worth isn't a line item. Look for more than crumbs from any table. When you look up, windows open. Maybe you're in a season where every lead fizzles. You tried, waited, reapplied, and felt the sting of silence. You called it bad luck or opposition. Consider another angle. What if closed doors are redirection? They might be guarding you from settling. They might be teaching you to anchor in something stronger than approval. So here's the fork in the road. Will you keep begging for positions or lean into the vision planted within you? Will you continue running after salaries or let your source fund your assignment? This isn't permission to be passive. It's a push to pursue purpose with discipline. A job can end in a moment. A calling carries through seasons. Companies restructure. Your assignment stands. Managers replace people. No one can substitute you in the story written for you. That's why the message is simple and pointed. Stop searching only for a job. Seek the plan. Depend on the one who opens doors no one can shut and sends provision from avenues you never expected. There is a way in the wilderness and rivers in dry ground. The first step is shifting your trust. Often the deepest struggle isn't in your skills but in your mindset. If your thoughts are trapped in survival mode, even good opportunities feel like lifelines you must cling to. Security isn't found in a contract. It's found in your source. Peace doesn't come from employment status. It flows from alignment. So the call isn't stop working. It's start working from purpose. Look for the plan, the vision, the assignment you were shaped to fulfill. Ask better questions than, who will hire me? Try, what was I made to build? Whom was I made to serve? Where does my gift meet a real need? If anxiety rises, how will I live? How will I provide? Remember that provision has never been limited to human channels. History is full of moments where needs were met from unexpected places. Sustenance in deserts, resources stretching beyond reason, help arriving by unusual hands. The point isn't to romanticize miracles, but to remind you that your source isn't boxed in by markets or timing. Ask less how and more who. Who is your provider? Who gave you the blueprint? Who knows where the resources already sit? That restless fire you feel when you imagine more than clocking in and out isn't fantasy, it's a nudge. You weren't made to trade your life for a wage and silence the gifts you carry. The invitation is to rise, break free from fear, and walk toward the work you were entrusted to do. Don't confine the possible to office hallways, signatures, or promise-laden emails. Systems can be useful. They should not be ultimate. The same hand that opens certain doors will close others, and both moves are merciful. You're not bound by trends, inflation, or policy shifts. Anchoring to a steadier foundation lets you move with clarity when circumstances sway. People run from place to place chasing stability, yet remain tired because they look where stability doesn't live. Human favor changes quickly. True provision is steadier than that. When care is promised, it isn't contingent on a platform or a pipeline. Help can rise from dust, possibility can spring out of dry ground, and resources can be commanded from corners you'd never predict. That's why the message challenges your default. Don't spend your life begging for jobs when a larger destiny already sits inside you. Systems prefer dependency, tied to a paycheck, a routine, a cycle that leaves little room for vision. Freedom, however, looks like dependence on your source and movement from glory to glory, not paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes, rejection is protection. Applications fail and interviews fizzle, not to shame you, but to guide you toward reliance on something unshakable. Comfort can quietly smother calling. Stability can conceal stagnation. A role can feed you and yet bury your assignment if you let it. So the directive stands: don't look only for a job, look for the plan. Provision tracks obedience. Prosperity accompanies purpose. Blessing follows faith. Live that way, and no person can halt what's unfolding through you. Consider the first story of stewardship. The original commission wasn't employment in the modern sense. It was governance, cultivation, increase. That was a mandate, not a job posting. Likewise, you weren't designed merely to survive the calendar. You were shaped to manage your gifts, multiply what's in your hands, and reflect something larger through your work. No title can fully satisfy a soul wired for calling. You weren't born to be hired by people alone. You were born to be deployed by God. This is not a retreat from effort. It's a recalibration of direction. When the message says, "Don't look for a job," it's not an excuse to sit still. It's a summons to begin your real work, the assignment set aside for you long before you worried about resumes. Many talents lie dormant because of the chase for roles that don't fit. Gifts suffocate under the pressure to conform to a system never meant for you. But the stirring you feel right now is a reawakening. Buried strengths are resurfacing. The instruction is direct. Don't bury what you were given. Don't waste what's in your grasp. And stop asking for wages as your only avenue when you carry the power to create value through your gifts. Your gift is not a pastime, it's a key. It's the channel designed to sustain you, grow you, and lift you so you can lift others. Don't dismiss it as small. In the right hands, small becomes significant. Simple tools have parted seas. Small reserves have canceled debts. Modest portions have fed multitudes. If that's possible, what could happen through the talent placed in you? The call is to look within. What skill, craft, idea, or insight has persisted through the years? What do people naturally seek from you? Where do real needs intersect with your ability to serve well? That intersection is where streams often begin. Dependence on salaries alone creates fixed lines, numbers that can be paused or cut. Dependence on source-backed streams is different. Channels can multiply, opportunities can arrive without forced chasing, and your work can bear fruit beyond your forecasts. This isn't motivational fluff, it's an operating principle. Align gift with need, act with integrity, serve with excellence, and trust provision to meet you on the way. Limits tighten when you chase roles that were never yours. Limits loosen when you embrace purpose. Don't misread this. Work matters. Diligence matters. Skill matters. What's being rejected isn't effort but fear-driven survival. Work is holy when it flows from assignment. Labor is honorable when it unfolds from destiny. But work without vision becomes bondage, and labor without direction turns to exhaustion. Look for your assignment. In it lives your abundance, your joy, your freedom. Many have sat on ideas for years, watching them fade under fear. What if I fail? Is a heavy question, but there's a stronger one. What if I never try? When an idea is entrusted to you, provision is already connected to it. When a vision lands, resources wait downstream. When you're sent, the road is prepared ahead of you. The hinge is obedience. Don't count yourself out. Feeling unqualified is common. Growth is part of the journey. When you take the right yoke, you're trained, equipped, strengthened, and multiplied. Others may not see much, but greatness often starts quiet. What matters is who called you and what you carry for those you serve. Fix your focus. Stop chasing roles that dilute you. Direct your energy toward building what you were born to build. This isn't arrogance, it's stewardship. The mark on your life won't let ordinary satisfy you. That discontent isn't ingratitude, it's guidance. Follow it with wisdom, humility, and consistent action. Let's clear a common confusion. Purpose doesn't mean abandoning responsibility. It means aligning responsibility with design. You can start where you are, but you don't have to stay where you are. Take deliberate steps. Refine your craft. Map the value you provide. Identify who needs it, and serve them faithfully. When your source funds you, opportunities start finding you. You won't need to scramble for every opening. The right ones begin to emerge as you build with integrity. This is what it looks like when provision follows purpose rather than panic. People may not understand your shift. Some will label it risky, even reckless. That's okay. History is full of moments when those moving by conviction looked odd until the results arrived. You can't live for human approval and expect to enjoy divine provision at the same time. Choose where to anchor your trust. The vindication you need rarely comes by arguing, it comes by fruit. As you align, outcomes speak. This is deeper than ambition. Chasing jobs can be a chase for survival. Pursuing God is a pursuit of destiny. One revolves around getting through the day. The other reshapes the day for you and for others. Ask yourself, do you want to merely get by, or do you want to become a vessel of impact? Survival is about existing. Destiny is about expressing what was placed within you for the good of many. Don't exchange a life of purpose for a wage that quiets your courage. You carry something larger than a title like creativity, strategy, compassion, grit. Don't hide it in environments that require you to shrink to fit. Some reading this are one decision away from momentum. The fear of leaving a familiar system is real, but the greater risk is staying where your potential withers. You don't need every detail before you start. You need faith, clarity on your next right step, and a plan you're willing to revise as you learn. If a vision was trusted to you, provision is already on the way. Walk with that confidence. The enemy of your progress is not limited to rejection letters. It's the internal narrative that says you must always be hired to be valuable. Jobs can keep you busy. Callings make you effective. Jobs can distract. Callings focus. Jobs may limit reach. Callings expand influence. The fear of unemployment has held many hostage. Break its hold by replacing it with trust and disciplined action. Everyone who built something meaningful learned to step beyond the safety of predictable systems. They moved into unknowns, armed with a word, a plan, and persistence. Faith isn't noise, it's motion. It looks like prototypes, outreach, learning, iteration, and service. You aren't called to blend into the crowd of just getting by. You're called to stand out through service and excellence. That's why ordinary has never felt like home. When you grasp this, your questions change. Who will hire me becomes, whom am I here to help? What if they don't pay me? Becomes, how can I create value that sustains itself? What if they reject me? Becomes, if this door closes, Which one is meant for me? Those who trust their source won't end in disappointment because they measure progress by obedience and fruit, not by immediate applause. So rise, reject fear's script. Don't trade vision for comfort. Don't hand your future to the fragile approval of systems that shift overnight. Stand grounded and say with conviction, I won't chase wages, I'll chase purpose. I won't depend on human favor, I'll depend on the one who sends favor where it's needed. And then move, because conviction without motion is just a speech you tell yourself. Here's the turning point. Everything you've been taught about survival may have trained you to play small. You were told stability lies in the hands of decision makers and that your name is valuable only when attached to a department. Today, that narrative breaks. Lift your eyes beyond pay cycles and into the breadth of provision tied to your purpose. You're not wandering the world hoping for work. You are a vessel carrying gifts needed by real people. You aren't here to beg for openings, you're here to create solutions. Your calling can't be revoked by a system, and your destiny isn't blocked by rejection. Those moments simply redirect you to where you're meant to build. If you shift your dependence upward, your life won't stay ordinary. Expect provision from unlikely directions, doors where walls used to be, and streams in dry places. Expect practical miracles, ideas connecting with buyers, skills meeting underserved markets, partnerships forming at the right time, doors opening because your integrity preceded you. Provision looks like daily bread and the wisdom to steward it. More than outcomes, you gain the freedom of walking as a person sustained by source, guided by conscience, and empowered by spirit. So break free from fear that says you need permission to start, from doubt that says your gift is too small, from the survival habit that clings to sameness even as it starves your potential. Step into the truth that your source sustains. Take bold, intelligent steps. Test your ideas small. Deliver value consistently. Keep learning. Document results. Refine your offer. Purpose is not a slogan, it's a practice. Destiny shows up in disciplined days. Don't bury your gift. Don't mute your vision. Don't wait for someone to announce that you're allowed to begin. You are already cleared to build. When you walk, don't look back longingly at the cage. Systems have their place, but they don't define your ceiling. Fix your focus and walk with the confidence that if you're called, you'll be sustained. If you've been sent, you'll be equipped. If you've been planted, you'll bear fruit in season through preparation, patience, and steady execution. Let these words settle deep. Stop looking for a job as your only path. Look for the one who guides your path. If you place trust above fear, you'll see transformation inside and around you. Your life becomes a case study that faithfulness still works, that provision meets purpose, that those who align with their assignment are not abandoned. This isn't about abandoning practicality, it's about honoring it at a higher level. Budget well, build reserves, price with fairness, communicate clearly, serve excellently, keep your word, protect your health, develop your mind, and surround yourself with people who sharpen you. Wisdom and faith are allies, not opposites. Choose your ground. Stay bound to the expectations of men, or walk in the freedom of your calling. The invitation is clear. Step forward. You won't have every answer, and you don't need to. Take your next faithful step. Map the solution you can deliver this week. Reach the people you can help today. Let outcomes compound. As you move, opportunities notice momentum. Help finds the builder who is already building. Before you go, translate conviction into action. Start by clarifying your assignment in one sentence: who you serve, what you deliver, and the transformation you create. Identify 3 problems you can solve now with the tools you already have. Package one solution into a simple offer. Set a first milestone with a date. Tell 3 people who might benefit. Ask for honest feedback. Deliver your best work to 1 person, then 2, then 10. Let small wins stack until momentum becomes obvious. This is how purpose becomes provision, not in theory, but in practice. Audit your resources. List skilled strengths, learned skills, experiences, relationships, and tools. Match each to a real need. If you lack a piece, learn it on purpose. Schedule study hours, ship small experiments, and document lessons. Build systems early, a clear process, fair pricing, a simple way to get paid, a cadence for outreach, a rhythm for rest. Excellence grows when routine supports it. Protect your focus by cutting noise that siphons energy but adds little value. Not every invitation serves your assignment. Learn to say no without apology. Expect resistance, internal and external. Doubt will visit. Greet it with data from your own progress. Fear will whisper. Answer with the next right action. Others may question your path. Let results respond over time. Keep your integrity intact when opportunities stretch your boundaries. Shortcuts that compromise your values always cost more later. Build a reputation for reliability, clarity, and care. That reputation becomes a bridge to rooms you never knew existed. Remember, this path isn't anti-work, it's pro-purpose. Honor every role you've held. Each taught you something useful. Bring that wisdom with you. If a traditional position aligns with your assignment for a season, embrace it as a platform, not a prison. The point is not to reject every job, but to refuse being defined by one. Let your source, not fear, decide your moves. When transitions come, plan them. Set targets, reduce debt, create margins, and move with counsel. Boldness pairs best with stewardship. Measure what matters. Track value delivered, people helped, skills improved, systems built, profit earned, and time reclaimed. Let those metrics steer your iterations. Celebrate progress without becoming complacent. Keep learning. Curiosity keeps your edge sharp and your heart soft. Gratitude keeps you grounded when growth accelerates. Generosity multiplies what you steward. Find ways to give time, insight, encouragement, opportunity. If you do these things, your life will feel less like a chase and more like a calling unfolding. You'll see doors appear where none were before. You'll notice provision arriving in step with obedience. You'll find that peace doesn't wait at the destination, it travels with you when you walk aligned. And your story will encourage those still stuck in survival to believe that another way is possible. So here's the final charge. Lift your eyes. Refuse to be ruled by scarcity. Don't sell your future for comfort. You are not here to fit neatly into someone else's small frame. You are here to bring your full measure to the world. Choose trust over fear. Choose purpose over panic. Choose disciplined action over endless hesitation. Step forward and keep stepping. When you move in your assignment, you will be sustained. When you serve with integrity, you will be seen. When you stay faithful, you will bear fruit in season. Let this become your declaration. I won't chase wages. I will pursue purpose. I won't look for definition in titles. I will build from the gift within. I won't wait for permission. I will move with wisdom. And I won't be driven by fear. I will be led by the one who called me. Now start. The next faithful step is right in front of you.